Hey, it's Dr. Gregory. Welcome to another episode of House Calls. I'm super excited today. We're gonna go spend some time with Ann, who's an incredible artist in Boston. Look at this house, it's an absolute masterpiece. Come inside with me. Knock, knock. Hello, Ann. So good to see you. You look beautiful. This is the studio, huh?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. This is just, I remember it, yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
This is so beautiful.
Look at these.
And then you sent me the other day on email.
Yeah,
Was
my
this
102-foot piece.
But is this a combination of each of
no,
these?
this is just,
Or is it this?
that is number 7 of my 102-foot piece.
So you have 102 of these size.
No, I don't have 102, it's 102 feet wide.
102 feet wide, oh
and
my
it's
goodness.
And it's made up of 32 panels of
32 panels.
3 by 5, and then 3 panels of 2 by 2.
My goodness, it's just
Yeah.
amazing.
So
How long did it take you?
It took me 5 years to paint it and a year to Photoshop it.
5 years.
5 years to paint
Did
it.
he show it to you?
Oh my goodness, isn't it? Look at this, John.
So that's that piece.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely just spectacular. Where would the dream be to have this piece? If you could,
A private collector or a museum.
Private collector.
Or a museum.
Wow.
So it's the story of Genesis, and it starts out with nothing. It's just, these are small canvases, ... And it starts out with nothing, and it takes you through the formation of the first day of Genesis, however long that is, whether it was a week, a
Yep.
year, or an eternity. And it opens you up to the possibilities that are infinite.
It's just incredible. I know we were talking a little bit earlier, but just to kind of give you a sense, you know, number one, Ann, thank you for letting us do this. Like as I mentioned to you, it's kind of my form of art, and I believe kind of the art of medicine is in the relationships, it's in the people, and it's kind of bringing care back to where, you know, things, you know, should be in my estimation, which is in the home. Getting to see your home, and we did a little bit of an exploration. It says a lot about who you are, and we were talking earlier that, you know, you've probably been treated by many doctors over time, or, you know, just been part of the healthcare system. But our one kind of experience together, I think, gives me a great insight. And I think people's environment, where they live, who they live with, and how they live, you know. I mean, you're very exceptional in your expression and your home and your art. And there's no doubt you're going to be famous and have a legacy, and so we'll have a small part. I'm putting that on camera now, just in case Ann's famous one day. You know, I'm really inspired by what you do, and, you know, would love for you to share a little bit of what inspires you, and maybe what inspires kind of the piece we were talking about a little bit earlier.
It's interesting that I work through spirit. I just, it just comes to me. I do a 2-minute sketch.
Okay.
Or I have a title.
Really?
And I just go to the canvas and I paint. And so the Genesis that is 35 canvases started with the canvas that you saw in my studio, and I painted 32 canvases, and the story just came along, as I said, through spirit.
Wow.
It's just, I don't overthink it.
Just a feeling, right? You kind of trust the gut, the feeling.
Right,
yeah.
right. I don't overthink it at all. It just happens.
Wow. I just want to kind of jump into, you know, what was your experience kind of getting care in your home? What was that like? You know, how meaningful was that to you?
It was very meaningful to me. First, I went to urgent care.
Yeah.
I was not impressed.
Okay.
I left urgent care and I went into the car and I said to my husband, "Now you need to take me to the hospital."
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah. And immediately they put an IV in my arm and they said, "We have to admit you."
Oh boy.
And that's not really what anybody wants. They like to be at home and not in a hospital. And they came in and they said, "Well, if you live 5 miles from the hospital," you can have a home care program. And
Yep.
I signed me up.
Sign me up. Yeah.
Sign me up. Having learned that when you go into Boston, you can sit there for 12 hours.
Yep.
And then I met you, so that was perfect.
That was amazing, right? I think I kind of came in and do you remember the type of care? I think you had IV infusions and a few other things. Yeah. So, but that was the only thing kind of holding you back, right? It was just an IV antibiotic, right? And people are getting, like you said, a number of days stay in a hospital where they could rather come home. It sounds like you had a very negative feel about hospitals. Why is that? You can be open with me, by the way.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. But why don't you like them? Well, that's like part of our root. Like, why are people, I find kind of two common scenarios. Some people feel like this comfort of, okay, well, I've been there, done that, and that's how I should get my care. And there's, people like you that are like, this doesn't work. Why are we doing it? Can I come home? So what is that negative kind of feeling, or why would you rather get care here?
Well, nobody's waking me up at 2 a.m. to take my temperature.
I love it.
I'm not hearing the cots bang down the aisle at 6 in the morning. I'm asleep in my own bed. I'm comfortable.
Yep.
I wasn't so sick that I was going to die right then and there, and I felt it was the best option.
Yeah.
And I was thrilled with it.
Yeah. No, it's great. Like you said, I mean, there's so much to being said about sleeping in your own bed, being in your own environment in terms of healing, right? I mean, how could you not want to heal in this environment, right? I think me and Johnny were saying we radiate healing, and inspiration here.
I better watch out before you move in.
Right, exactly. Okay, right. I mean, I agree with you. People are woken up. It's less kind of centered around what your needs are. Like, I think even today when we're kind of scheduling a time, like some people like to get up later, right? 10, 11 in the hospital. You're up at every 8 hours, right? Getting your vital signs done, poking the blood.
And the food is horrible. It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it, right? Yeah, you got neighbors sometimes, and depending on where you go, right? Exactly. Gotcha.
Yeah. And you came once a day.
Yep.
And the nurse practitioner came once a day. She came with you, and then she came again.
Exactly.
And I had intravenous at home, and I didn't have to have it on the pole.
Yep.
It was a whole different system. I had something you stuck on my chest,
little
and that was
monitor, right?
The monitor, the cardiac monitor, kept going, and
but it didn't wake you up, did it?
No, it didn't go beep beep beep.
Didn't beep, right? Just beeped on my phone, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It was a very good experience, and I would do it again. You bring the technology into the home, and these little things that do what big machines do in the hospital.
I know. Yeah, no, it's true.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's very true. So you did nursing, and you did it for a little while, and then tell me how kind of this art, I know you've been doing it for a while, but how did this all evolve?
I was always interested in art, and I grew up down the street from the Rhode Island School of Design, but it wasn't an option.
Got it.
And I was very successful. I was a mortgage originator, and I was very, very successful.
Okay.
And I got sick, and I could no longer work. I had a diagnosis of MS for 24 years. Okay. And it reached the point that I was at home. Mm-hmm. I was sleeping. I wasn't functioning. It was a long 24 years. Wow. And I went to doctor after doctor, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And finally, I went to a fabulous diagnostician. Mm-hmm. I went in with 4 folders of medical records, 4 inches thick, each of them. And within 5 minutes, he says, "You have a gluten allergy, and I'm going to make you well." I went gluten-free. I got my memory back. I got my energy back. I got my life back.
I just have this gut feel, as we've been kind of talking about, that the right thing for us to do in medicine is to honor the relationship that we can build together, which is the old school common sense medicine. And it's to bring back what I think is the art of medicine, which is getting to the root of taking care of people where they live. And I'm convinced that, learning where you live, how you live, who you live with, all these things that they probably don't quantify right now, that's a big piece of somebody's health, well-being, mental health. And so I think this is kind of my approach to really understanding, and exploring what this means. I do have a gift for you. I'm not sure if it's but it's you asked some of the other things I'm doing. So I designed and manufactured my own.
Oh my God.
I have a whole line of products coming out in the medical space. Yeah, Dr. Gregory.
Oh, You are something else. You're a hot ticket.
We have a whole line of medical products in the home space, and that is my mission. So it's care and product lines.
I will show you my masks.
Tell me. Oh my gosh.
I will be right back.
Please?
You have never
Oh my gosh.
You have never seen anything like this.
I'm excited. Oh my gosh. Look at this.
Oh, man.
Oh my word. See, there's no way I can wear these. New masks, not the Dr. Gregory brand. We've got Beverly Hills, baby, and Calvin Klein. I just want to thank you. You know, this has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you are a true artist.
Oh, thank you.
You are a legend in my book before you're a legend. And you are famous, and your heart is amazing. And so, you know, it really was an honor to meet you. And I'm glad we got to share another, you know, time together and for you to tell a little bit of your story. And I'm excited to continue our friendship and to stay inspired. And
same here.
You know, when you sell that big painting, we have it documented, and we're gonna say Anne's gonna sell her painting to a billionaire because it's gonna happen. So stay tuned for whom. Part 2 when Anne sells her painting. We'll do our second house call. But thank you again. It really is meaningful.
My pleasure.
You know, thanks for letting me share my art and passion with you.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. This has been really nice.
Dr. Gregory, another day in the life. Super inspired with my discussion with Anne. You know, her heart, her art, her legacy is really exciting. Absolute masterpiece. Super fired up. Join us on the journey. Subscribe to the Dr. Gregory channel. Live, love, laugh, make art, and build your masterpiece.